There is a chicken that lays eggs in -30 Celsius. No heat lamp, no insulated housing, no purchased warming system. She walks out of an unheated coop in February in Quebec, moves through snow that would kill a commercial Leghorn in 6 hours, and lays a full-sized egg before noon. That breed exists. She has existed since 1907, and the average American backyard farmer has never been told her name. Here is the first question. If a chicken was specifically engineered to eliminate the single largest winter operating cost in cold climate poultry keeping, the heating bill, why is she not in every farm store in the northern United States? Here is the second question. Who developed her? Where did that knowledge go? And why does the answer to both questions lead directly back to the same industry that has been selling you heat lamps, insulated waterers, and cold weather feed supplements every November for the last 40 years? I will answer both, but I want you to sit with a third question first, and this one I will not answer until the end. In 1907, one man built a closed-loop cold weather flock system so complete that a homestead running it today would generate zero recurring revenue for the poultry input supply chain. The industry knows this system exists. They have known since at least 1950. What did they do about it? Stay with me, because the answer changes the way you read every hatchery catalog you have ever received. The American poultry input industry operates on a dependency that most backyard farmers never examine directly. Cold weather is not a problem the industry wants to solve for you. Cold weather is a product category. Heat lamps, thermostatically controlled waterers, cold weather high-calorie feed blends, frostbite treatment protocols, comb covers. Every one of these products exists because the breeds being sold to you were not designed for your climate. They were designed for confinement. For a temperature-controlled warehouse where the heating cost is carried by an industrial operator at scale. When you put a confinement-optimized bird in a backyard coop in Minnesota, you inherit the heating cost that the industrial operator absorbed. You buy the products. You pay the monthly invoice. And nobody at the hatchery mentions that a bird exists who was specifically designed so that invoice would never arrive. That bird is the Chantecler, and here is where this story stops being about a chicken. Brother Wilfrid Châtelain was a monk at the Abbey of Notre-Dame du Lac in Oka, Quebec. In 1907, he began a breeding program with a single documented objective: to create the first Canadian chicken breed, one that could survive and produce through Canadian winters without any purchased heating input whatsoever. He crossed white Leghorns, dark Cornish, Rhode Island Reds, white Wyandottes, and white Plymouth Rocks over more than a decade of deliberate selection. What he was selecting for was not egg count and isolation. He was selecting for a complete system: cold tolerance, foraging ability, calm temperament, winter laying, and feed efficiency in low-temperature conditions simultaneously. The result took 15 years to stabilize. It was admitted to the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 1921. And here is the number that should make you angry. A Chantecler hen in an unheated coop in northern Vermont lays between 200 and 250 eggs per year. A commercial production strain Leghorn in the same unheated coop stops laying entirely below 4 degrees Celsius and begins showing frostbite damage on her single comb within 2 weeks of sustained freezing temperatures. The Chantecler's cushion comb sits flat against her skull, flush, compact, offering no surface area for frost to bite. Her plumage is so dense it functions as insulation rated for temperatures the commercial bird cannot survive. She does not need your heat lamp. She was built specifically so you would never need to buy one. Now, you are 4 minutes into this video, and I need you to stay, because what I am about to tell you is not history. It is current. It is happening in every farm store you have ever walked into this winter. The Chantecler population in North America today sits at fewer than 1,000 registered breeding birds. That is not a recovery. That is a breed that is one bad winter, one disease event, one disinterested generation from permanent extinction. A breed that was designed to solve a problem 40 million American backyard farmers are currently paying to manage. 1,000 birds, 40 million households. Those two numbers should not coexist, and they do not coexist by accident. By 1945, the Chicken of Tomorrow contest had redirected American poultry breeding entirely toward confinement production. The Chantecler's profile, cold-hardy, self-sufficient, minimum input, was not a trait the contest measured. The contest measured breast width and feed conversion to processing weight. The Chantecler could not compete in that framework because she was not built for that framework. She was built for yours, but your framework was not the one being funded. By the 1960s, she had disappeared from commercial hatchery catalogs across the United States. Not because she failed in cold climates. She had been documenting her performance in cold climates for 60 years. She disappeared because a bird that generates no heat lamp purchase, no insulated water or purchase, no cold weather feed blend purchase, and no frostbite supplement purchase across a 5-year productive lifespan represents a specific dollar figure in lost recurring revenue. That dollar figure, per household, per decade, between $400 and $800 in cold weather poultry inputs that a Chantecler flock simply does not require. Multiply that across the 40 million American households currently keeping backyard chickens in cold climate zones. The industry did not ban the Chantecler. They simply stopped teaching her, stopped printing her name in extension service pamphlets, stopped stocking her at the farm supply counter, stopped including her in the beginner's guide that every new chicken keeper picks up in the spring alongside their first heat lamp. When something generates no recurring revenue, the system treats it like it does not exist. And eventually, almost, it doesn't. Brother Wilfrid finished his work in 1921 and returned to his monastery. He built a self-sufficient cold weather flock system inside a religious community that had no interest in recurring revenue, no supply chain to protect, and no hatchery catalog to curate. He published his methods. He shared his breeding records. He handed the bird to the world with open hands. The world's response was to file the records in an archive and sell you a heat lamp. The knowledge did not die. It is in those records. It is in the American Poultry Association's own documentation. It is in the Livestock Conservancy's breed profile, listed under critical, the most endangered designation they assign, which means the clock is running. One Chantecler hen outside right now, in February, in snow, moving through it like it is not there. Her comb flat and intact. Her feathers sealed against the cold like a system engineered specifically for this morning. Laying, requiring nothing. That is what was taken, not from a museum, from your coop, from your feed bill, from every winter you have spent keeping a bird alive that was never designed to survive what you were asking it to survive. The Chantecler Fanciers International maintains the current breeding registry. The Livestock Conservancy Hatchery Directory lists the verified sources. Both links are in the description. Every flock rebuilt from this breed is a heat lamp that never gets purchased. Every winter that passes without a frostbite supplement order is a transaction the $47 billion input industry does not collect. Brother Wilfrid built his system in 1907 and gave it away.